from WSAV, the station that's on your side. You're watching News 3 Today.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Ben Katko. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 Today. This seems like one of those days you just want to spend it at the beach.
You certainly do. And you know what? Good for us. We only have about 30 more minutes before we can head out.
Speed this thing up here.
This is a live look from our Dozier log cam right now at the beach. And you see there are a lot of people already out and about. Kyle Dennis, what say you about today?
I think that beach is going to get more and more crowded over the next couple of days. It is going to feel more and more like summer. In fact, today we're going to get close. It's already 81. Many areas actually are in the 80s now. Rincon 82, Statesboro 80 degrees, 82 in Hinesville, and even our coolest spots are in the upper 70s. So it's going to be a very warm day today, even warmer than the last couple of days. 84 at noontime, 3 o'clock 88, 86 at 6. Just a few high-level scattered clouds as we move through the afternoon, topping out at 89, pushing 90. Some spots could see 90 today. If you don't see it today, I definitely think you'll see it tomorrow. Now, what we won't see is rain. We are 5.66 inches below normal. There is finally some rain in part of the 7-day forecast, but not any time in the next 3, 4, or even 5 days. But we'll talk about what's ahead for the weekend. Mother's Day is coming up. The Savannah Arts Academy Media and Film Festival is coming up tomorrow. So there's a lot going on that we'll cover in the forecast.
All right. Thanks a lot, Kyle.
You got it.
Making headlines this morning, 3 Americans held in North Korea are back at home. The 3 detainees were arrested and accused of hostile acts or espionage against the North Korean regime. 2 of the 3 have been held since spring of 2017. The 3rd was detained back in October of 2015.
We very much appreciate that he allowed them to go before the meeting. It was sort of understood that we'd be able to get these 3 terrific people during the meeting and bring them home after the meeting. And he was nice in letting them go before the meeting. I mean, frankly, we didn't think this was going to happen, and it did.
President Trump also said that the release of the detainees is a good sign for relations with North Korea moving forward, saying he thinks Kim Jong-un is looking to, quote, bring that country into the real world.
Operation Empower Health kicked off just a couple hours ago around Chatham County. It's a chance for thousands of people around here to get no-cost health care over the next week.
News 3's Danny Dykes is on your side this morning live at the Savannah Civic Center with more on this exciting collaboration. Good morning, Danny.
Good morning. Well, I'm in the patient intake area where people have been waiting in a line that's currently wrapped around the door. The U.S. military is teaming up with Georgia Southern and St. Joseph's Candler to provide free medical services to people in our community, and they're expected to benefit around 5,000 people. Empower Health is the flagship training exercise of the Department of Defense. It gives troops real-life deployment training while providing no-cost health care to residents who are uninsured or underinsured. The military is offering an array of services from dental, medical, and eye exams to veterinary services. And although the logistical experience will help troops down the road, they say the cost of helping community members is invaluable.
Providing services to them that they've probably been waiting for a while now. And to know that we will provide those services to them today, they're leaving out happy, and I mean, that's priceless.
Operation Empower Health will run through the 18th. There are 4 locations: the Savannah Civic Center right here, the Garden City Recreational Department, University Hall at Georgia Southern's campus in Savannah, and Savannah State University's Tiger Arena. Once again, all medical services are provided at no cost. And the service is generally expected to be for people over the age of 18. They are expecting long lines, but they'll try to accommodate as many people as possible. Live at the Civic Center, Danny Dykes, WSAV News 3.
Thank you, Danny. One local mother is just one of many who've lost children to an opioid overdose. In fact, more than 115 people are dying every single day. Last night, she shared what she knows about the anti-overdose drug naloxone with the community. Leslie Messenger lost her son more than a decade ago. At the time, the overdose reversing drug wasn't even out. Now she and 5 other mothers who have lost children to overdoses are stepping up, hoping to educate the community on how to be the difference between life and death.
He was 24 years old, and he had he overdosed from Oxycontin, and that I can't even, describe what that's like to lose a child. I don't want to lose any more.
Narcan is available for purchase over the counter. Both CVS and Walgreens sell it locally, but you do need to buy it directly from the pharmacist. They suggest if you know someone who's at risk of an overdose, you should always carry it.
In a News 3 health report this morning, infants diagnosed with drug withdrawal after birth may need additional treatment if they are allowed to leave the hospital early. Researchers compared outcomes for babies treated with medication at home to those who stayed in the hospital for several weeks. Infants who were released early took medication for about 60 days. Those treated in the hospital only needed medicine for about a third of that time. The number of babies born addicted to opioids has tripled over the past 15 years. Depression may be connected to memory problems in older adults. A new study looked at more than 1,000 healthy seniors over a 5-year period. Patients with symptoms of depression were more likely to develop memory issues. Depression was also linked to a smaller brain volume and damage to blood vessels in the brain. A simple walking test may help predict a patient's risk for memory problems after a heart operation. Researchers studied nearly 200 older adults undergoing non-emergency heart surgery. Before their procedures, they were asked to walk as far as they could in 6 minutes. Patients who covered the shortest distance were more likely to have cognitive issues after surgery.
It's been a little more than a week since a plane crashed headfirst into Highway 21 in Port Wentworth. Inside, 9 men of the Puerto Rico Air National Guard. None of them survived. The Puerto Rican flight crew was in town for routine maintenance. The goal was to decommission the plane once it reached Arizona, but it crashed shortly after takeoff. Port Wentworth first responders arrived to find the plane on fire. The crews called for backup, and soon the area was filled with hundreds of firefighters, police, and EMS. We spoke with some of those first responders who saw the plane minutes after it crashed.
Woods were on fire. There was, some jet fuel was still burning. It was controlled chaos a little bit. I'll admit that there's a pit in the, a knot in my stomach at first. But then, once you kind of get your head straight, it's back to business. It's time to go to work.
The Air Force is now leading the investigation. There's been no word yet on a cause. The plane still sits in pieces as the memorial for the fallen continues to grow.
Meanwhile, the site of that crash is still the scene of an investigation. Drivers are facing roadblocks and altered traffic patterns right now. In this Voice of the Viewer report, one veteran tells News 3 the detour has put him in a potentially life-threatening situation. Troy Clayton gets his medicine from the Charleston VA. He has run out of his heart drugs and is 3 days away from his insulin being gone. Neither UPS nor the Postal Service will deliver to any homes on Danny Street, which is just inside the crash investigation zone. On top of that, Clayton doesn't have any transportation.
I called the post office and I asked why they couldn't deliver. They said, well, they don't do detours. I said, what about the post office motto? We deliver rain and sleet and all that. Oh, well, that was the Pony Express. It's disgusting. I mean, you rely on the Postal Service and when necessary UPS, and when they just say, well, I can't go out of the way for you, it makes you feel like you're being thrown away.
There is some good news this morning. News 3 talked to UPS. We picked up Clayton in a news car and met the driver a couple of blocks away, just outside the crash zone, to help Clayton pick up his much-needed insulin. We are still waiting to hear back, though, from the U.S. Postal Service, who has told us they are looking into the issue. We will, of course, keep you updated.
Looking ahead this morning, 12 local celebrities and their professional partners will set the dance floor on fire this weekend as the Alzheimer's Association hosts its 7th annual Dancing Stars of Coastal Georgia. And this is video from last year's event. The night is both a competition and a fundraiser. This year's goal is $340,000. Money raised will support Alzheimer's and dementia research and programs and services for 19 coastal counties. Join me and Ben Singer this Saturday, May 12th at the Savannah Trade and Convention Center as we host this fun-filled event. Cocktail hour starts at 6. The competition begins at 7. A handful of tickets are still available. You can also vote for your favorite star online at dancingstarsofcoastalgeorgia.com.
The Great Savannah Cleanup is moving to Zone 2. If your regular trash day is Tuesday, you can put out any items like old furniture, appliances, TVs, and mattresses before 7 o'clock this Saturday morning for pickup. There are some things, though, that cannot be picked up, like car parts, construction materials, or hazardous wastes like paint. Those aren't allowed. Your neighborhood does need to be registered to participate. You can sign up on the city's website and find out which zone you live in on our website. That is at WSAV.com/cleanup.
South Carolina is seeing an alarming number of children falling victim to forms of abuse and neglect.
After the break, we talk to lawmakers about what they are doing to protect our children. Stay with us. You're watching WSAV News 3 today.